Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be ranking every Trails character up through Cold Steel 4. We're not going to be tackling anything past Cold Steel 4. We're not going to be handling most of the NPCs. This is the vast majority of the playable and non-playable characters that are tied into the main story. So this will be all of your playable cast as well as most of the non-playable villains. But it won't go into the nitty-gritty with the NPCs. Our rankings are as usual. SSS, Triple S, that's a top tier. S tier, very solid, very good, love them. A tier, that's a great character right there. B tier, that's about mid-range, kind of like that character. Could like them more, don't dislike them. C tier, might slightly dislike you, but I don't hate you. D tier, wish we could get along better. And E tier, I wish I could forget you. And you know, we'll see who gets put in that tier. I know somebody. I know somebody will. But we're going to tackle this alphabetically because we have a lot of characters to go through. So let's start with Agate. And again, just as a reminder, this will have spoilers all the way through Cold Steel 4. I'm not tackling anything with Kuro today. I'm not tackling anything with Reverie today. It's just through Cold Steel 4. Agate. I really like Agate. I think that in the Sky Trilogy, Agate is really, really good. He kind of comes off really gruff at first, and then slowly, he wins you over as you learn the story and what happened with him and Ravenou and everything that happened there. I really, really like Agate. So we're going to go ahead and put Agate in S tier. Agate is a great character that I love a lot. I wish he got to do a little bit more in the later parts of Cold Steel, but in the earlier parts of Cold Steel, he definitely has a lot of good stuff going on. Alan Richard, also a character I really, really like. Gonna go ahead and put him in A. He might actually. I think we're gonna go put Alan Richard in S as well. I know that. Look, I like most of the characters in Trails. I don't think I've made that a secret, so there will be quite a few people in the higher tiers. But Alan Richard is a great enemy. He's a great protagonist. He's a great character throughout the Sky Trilogy. As you learn what makes him tick and what makes him make the decisions that he made. I really enjoy Alan Richard as a character. Princess Alphen, and I'm kind of moving quickly through these because there's a lot of them, as you can see, but some of them we will absolutely give a little bit more due than others. Princess Alphen is one of those characters that I could probably like more. I don't dislike Alphen, but she'll probably stay at top of C tier. But I also just don't necessarily like Alphen either. I think that part of the problem is that I didn't want to romance Alphen, and so I missed a lot of, thanks green screen, I missed a lot of Alphen scenes in Cold Steel 4 because I didn't want to romance Alphen. And maybe a second playthrough where I try to romance Alphen could change my mind on Alphen. But the big scene for Alphen that hits with me is her scene with Cedric. But other than that, Alphen doesn't really get to do much in the end game. She has some really good moments in CS1 and CS2, but for the most part, Alphen for me is just, yeah, she's all right. I like her. And that's kind of where I'm at with Elisa. I know a lot of people really like Elisa, and I don't dislike Elisa at all. I might move her up to A because of everything that happens with her and Franz and Sharon. I do think she's very solid, right? I just don't love her the way that I do a lot of the other characters. I think that I just remembered her moment with Sharon on the yeah, okay. Her moment with Sharon with the huge robot, and then telling Sharon just hey, no, don't stay back. It's okay. You need to rest. It's my turn to step forward now. It's okay. All right. Then she gets her own mech and the stuff. She can go in A. She can go. Elisa can go in A. I feel like this is gonna happen a lot, where I go to put a character in B and then wind up moving up. Altina is a triple S tier character. Fight me. I love Altina. Altina is great. Altina is Precious' daughter, and I won't hear any different. Black Rabbit, she's great. Altina's wonderful. The fact that she becomes a person over the course of the games is so good. Altina's triple S tier, and I'll hear no different. If you're upset about this in the comments, tell me where you would have ranked Altina instead. Annalise is going into A tier, I think. Top of A, maybe. I think if she had more time, she would probably be an S tier for me. I think she's very, very good. I like her a lot. She just doesn't get to do much, you know? Over the course of the game, she kind of gets relegated to a back seat, unfortunately. I think her showing up in Cold Steel 4 would have really just given her that push forward, but instead she wound up just relegated to a screenshot almost of her being there. Angelica Rogner is our first I Wish I Could Forget You. I cannot stand this character. It's one of my least favorite characters, not just in this series, in all of fiction. And yeah, I wish I could forget Angelica Rogner. Get her out of here. If you like Angelica, more power to you, but I'm just not an Angelica fan. Leanne Sandlot? We're going to put Aryan Road, I think probably before Annalise or after Annalise. Which one? I do like Aryan Road a lot. Steel Maiden. I love her backstory. I love everything going on with like why she chose to do what she did, you know. I think we're gonna put her behind Annalise, but that could change in the future. Next up is Arios McLean, a character that I very much like. I think we're gonna put Arios above. I kind of want to put Arios. That scene with Arios and Guy is really good. We're gonna put Arios in S. Don't care. We're putting Arios in S. That scene with him and Guy is really good. The one where they go to reach out for hands and then the. I'm trying not to spoil too much, but there will be spoilers in this video, so just keep that in mind. Ash Carbide. Ash Carbide, A or S for Ash? There's a part of me that wants to put him in A for Ash, but also the scene where he finds out what happened, how he was taken from the place. Scene with him losing it. The scene with him and Hummel. We're going to put Ash in S. I really do like Ash Carbide a lot. I think he's a very good character. In fact, I think I might put him under Agate. We're going to do this as well. Aurelia Le Guin. Straight to S tier. What a great character she is, man. What a great character. Just like oozes power and confidence everywhere she goes. Completely unstoppable, right? But you get, I was looking to see if Brigadier General Wallace Bardius is on here. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. Just the moment when she realizes she's hit her peak and can't get any better. Ooh, such a good moment. She's so good. Next up is Black Alberic. I actually really like him as a villain. I don't think he's like super top tier, but I find him a fun villain. A little hammy, but still enjoyable. I like him. He can go in A. I might put him above Elisa, but that's a tough call. Blue Blanc is straight S. I love Blue Blanc. I'm one of those weird people that love the Blue Blanc puzzles as well. I love him as a character. I think he's a ton of fun. He is such a great character to have in this roster. And so, without a doubt, Blue Blanc Phantom Thief B is S tier for sure. Next up is Campanella Dafour. I like Campanella. Campanella's pretty cool. I wish that we knew a little bit more about what's going on with Campanella. There's some cool stuff between Yuna and Campanella that I think kind of sets up that Campanella is a lot more than just Enforcer number 0. But we'll see. I'm interested in seeing where that goes moving forward in the rest of the series. But for right now, Campanella, solid A tier character. Cassius Wright. We might have put him top of A. The biggest issue I have with Cassius is we just don't get a lot of time with Cassius, you know? He is, in many ways, in the first game, more of a driving force, right? It's well, we got to figure out what happened to Cassius. And what I like the most about Cassius is that he is incredibly competent, the greatest sword master on the continent, basically, after Yun Kafai himself. Completely unstoppable. And yet, he's very down to earth. He's very reasonable. He doesn't abuse his power when he easily could get away with it. I like Cassius Bright a lot. We're gonna go ahead and move Cassius up to S. I like Cassius a lot. Cedric's also very good. I think we're gonna put him top of A. I think that Cedric's character undergoes a lot of changes over the course of the story, and I wind up really liking where he gets to. I think there's a little bit of time in the middle there where he kind of crawls, but by the end, he is absolutely great. And speaking of absolutely great, Chloe Rins, incredible character. Absolutely adore Chloe. Hands down, one of the best characters in the series in my mind. Great character. I love her stuff with the orphanage. I love her stuff with the school, Genis Royal Academy. She's how do I not spoil too much? Her interactions with Lecter are really good. Her interactions with Estelle and Joshua are really good. Her interactions with Reen and with some of the other members of, specifically like the SSS, are all really good. I love Chloe. I love that she continues to come back as this powerful force in the series, and I adore every time she's on screen. She is such a commanding presence when she really wasn't sure that she could handle that pressure to start with. You know, I love Chloe's arc. It's so good. Then we have Claire Revelt, who I think I'm also going to put in S. You'll notice that not a lot of people have made it triple S tier yet. I definitely have my picks that are going up there, but I want triple S tier to be special, you know? Claire's a great character. In fact, I think we're probably going to do this. Because Claire is a great character. She has her problems, right? She has her faults. And the fact that she's able to push herself forward through them anyway. The fact that she tries to work things out with her cousin. The fact that as things continue forward, she makes some very questionable decisions. And it is those questionable decisions that make her dynamic with Reed so special. I really like Claire as a character. Her interactions with Yuna are really good, and I just think that over the course of the story, she develops into an amazing character. Speaking of amazing characters, Crow Armbrust, straight to top of triple S. Crow is like my guy for Cold Steel, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Crow is so good. As I love Crow. I love what happens with Crow in 2. And I love the rest of the series. Crow is great. I think that not only does he function really well as a best friend character, but in a lot of ways he is a foil. He is a force. He is a goal. He is a rival. It's so good. He fills so many roles as a character, and he fills each and every one of them perfectly. I love Crow. And the moment at the end of 2 where that song plays, that will always be Crow's song to me. I will remember you. Just, I love Crow Armbrust as a character. I also love Duvalie the Swift as a character. Straight to triple S tier. Duvalie is an incredible character. I was sold on her immediately, right? When you meet Duvalie and she's just the Swift out of the Stout and the Sharp, you have this fun character that kind of has a little too much going on, right? She's not just your de facto enemy. There's clearly a lot going on with her. But then you get her in Cold Steel and she's like, well, I'm not telling you. And it's like, all right, so she's sassy, she's fun, she's playful, serious. All of these aspects make up who Duvalie is, but they aren't all that she is. She's also loyalty. She's strength. She's perseverance and an iron will. She is the teachings of her master. And then she disregards those while taking the core of what they are to be able to become the strength of Class 7 in a way that I think is really potent. I love Duvalie as a character. I kind of wish that she was fully romanceable because I would have left behind my favorite girl to romance Duvalie because of how much I like Duvalie. That's how good of a character I think she is. So there's no question in my mind she has to be triple S here. Duvalie the Swift is an incredible character. Ein Selnate, Mr. Carnelia. We're probably going to put her in A. There's too much really we don't know about Ein at this point. I want to be able to spend some more time with her. We mainly get to see her just in Sky Third, but I do really like her as a character. I think the interactions between her and Rufia are really, really good. The interactions between her and Kevin Graham are very good. I like Einselnate a lot and wish that we got to see her more. Maybe in a Prima Furia based game? Maybe? Ellie McDowell. Ellie's good. I'm really like tempted to not put anybody from the SSS below A or below S. Of the SSS, Ellie is my least favorite. But not because I don't like her, just because I like the other three way more. Well, I say other three. There's five, so I guess Noelle's probably my least favorite. But I still love Noelle as well. Ellie McDowell is a really fun character that I think gets more time to shine in Zero than she does in Azure. I think in Azure she kind of gets sidelined. And then throughout the Cold Steel series, she gets some good scenes, but she's not quite of a potent personality as some of the others. And some of the stuff that should be hers with Maribel is given to Yuna instead, which is kind of unfortunate. But I do think she's a very solid character, and I think that's probably why she's going to go top of A. Because I really like Ellie. I just wish that she got more time to shine. I don't really like Elise. I don't hate Elise. She's not Angelica tier. I just don't really like her either. I think that I would like her more if not for the incest. But also, I just don't love Elise Schwarzer. I don't think she's the best of the group, you know? I think we're going to put her in D. Elliot Craig, very, very solid character. Like him a lot. I just remembered the scene where he uses the battle song but plays it in a different rhythm to like bring people's hope back up. Oh, yeah, I think we're going to leave him in A. Because these two tiers need to mean something, right? But Elliot is very, very good. I like Elliot. At first, I didn't think I would. Honestly, I thought Elliot was kind of going to be one of my least favorite characters in Class 7, but I really wound up loving Elliot by the end. He's a very, very fun character. Same with Emma Milstein, honestly. Emma trying to sacrifice herself to save Reed? No. I think we're going to put Emma in S. I like Emma a lot. The scene on Lake Legram is really good for Emma. I think that whether you romance Emma or not, Emma's relationship with the rest of Class 7 is very, very good, and I really like Emma as a character. She is absolutely great. Then we have, I always mix these two up. It's the Sharp, right? It's Ines and Inea, right? She's okay. I don't dislike her. I just also don't love her. I think of the three, her personality is kind of the hardest to parse. But she's pretty good, you know? Estelle Bright is top tier. Absolutely top tier. One of my 10 favorite characters in anything ever now. One of the best protagonists I've ever seen. Literally the sun, bringing sunshine and hope to everyone around her. Estelle Bright is incredible. And it's time for ultra violence. Yeah, no, Estelle is incredible. Estelle, absolutely top tier. Top 10 best protagonists of all time, Estelle Bright. Love her. She's the reason that this series grabbed me. I adore Estelle. She has to be top of this list. Although there is one character that might fight her for that throne when we get there. Fee Clausel is great. Fee has to be an S tier. I love Fee. Fee is just on that verge with Chloe of pushing up to triple S tier. I love Fee. Fee is such a great character. Her stuff with the boss, her stuff with Leo and Zeno, her stuff with Reed, her stuff with Sarah, her stuff with Laura and Emma. It's all very, very good. Fee is such a fun character to have around. And I really enjoyed her by the end of the game. She was absolutely incredible. Gaius Warzel, I think we're going to put him at A. I think that he is a very good character. I think that the stuff that comes with him later on is even better. It strengthens his character a lot. I don't love Gaius the way that I do a lot of other characters, but I do still think that Gaius is absolutely great. I think that he fills the role that was needed very well, and there were absolutely some fights in the story that I had to have him in my party because it only made sense for him to be there. His stuff with Father Barkhorn is really good, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him show up maybe some more later on. George! We're gonna put George in B. I don't dislike George really. I don't love George either. I think George, again, does his role really well. I think he has some really good scenes. I don't super love George, but I do think that there is a really good scene with George in the middle of CS3 that absolutely changed everything about the way that I see George. He's a really interesting character in a lot of ways. Gileath Osborne. I want to clarify that I know a lot of people don't love some of the choices that Osborne makes in Cold Steel 4. But I think that even without that, Osborne is such a good villain. I'm going to put him at top of S tier. With the stuff that happens at the end of Cold Steel 4, I think that he becomes an even better character. But I think top of S tier is as high as I can put him. Oh, I say that. Honestly, I say that, but one of the greatest villains in fiction in my mind. Complete dominating presence everywhere he goes. Walks into a room and he owns you all. Yeah, he's going triple S tier. Gileath Osborne. Great character. What a great character, man. Especially with the stuff you get revealed at the end of 4. Oh! The Stout, gonna go with the Sharp. I think that I'm gonna put her above Ines because I do think that Ines has just a little bit more of a vocal personality to her than Anea. But I do think they're about the same when it comes to, they don't really get a lot of time to shine, but they fill their job well. You know, you get a feel for who they are. Josette Capua, that's a solid character right there. I like her. I think that she gets a lot better over the course of the Cold Steel stuff because it's clear that she's still not completely over who she was before and her problems with Estelle, but she's not being a jerk about it either. She's being a lot more reasonable, and I think that that helps a lot with her as a character. I like her. Josette is a really fun character over the course of the entire series. Joshua Bright. Did we put him in triple S? Yes. Yes, I think we do. I really love Joshua. I think that as a main character, well, Estelle's the main character, right? But as a secondary main character, I think that he is very, very strong. I think that we see so many different sides to Joshua over the course of the series. And one of the big moments that stands out to me is at Cold Steel 4, where Joshua has a line that you realize after he says it, he never would have said that before. He would have just internalized that pain and tried to pretend it didn't happen. But instead, he vocally, I love his arc. He vocally talks about it. And you can tell that everybody else understands that, hey, he wouldn't be talking about this normally either. It's just, Joshua grows so much over the course of the series, and it means a lot to me to see his growth. Julia Schwartz. Very, very good character. I want to put her top of A, maybe? I think she's very solid. I like her a lot. I just don't know that she moves up into some of these higher ranks. I used her a lot in Sky Third, but she's really fun. I like her. I think that she has one of the best fights in the entire series, which is her fight with Cassius. I wish that maybe we got to see more of that. Maybe she'd shown up some more later on, but there's still time for that, I guess. So we'll see. I like Julia Schwartz a lot. Una Crawford. Una Crawford. Where do I want to put Una Crawford? I think we might do this. Yeah. I like Una. I do. I really do. I think that she's got her issues. I think that her scene in Cold Steel 3, where she's begging Rufus to give Crossbell back, it's a really powerful scene. I don't love a lot of her other scenes, and especially in Cold Steel 4 when the romance starts up, I didn't really need that for her character. But otherwise, I do still really like Yuna. I think she's a really fun character, and she gets to do a lot of great stuff over the course of the 2 games that she's in. It's amazing how much of a dominating presence that she does have, even if she does say the word crossbell a little much. Eustace Alberea is straight towards the top of S. I think he's going to go behind Chloe. But yeah, I love Eustace. I think that Eustace is one of those characters that you feel like when you start, his dynamic is going to be him and Machias, and it's going to be the bro team all the way through the end, right? It's really not, though. His dynamic quickly becomes him and Millium, and his stuff with Millium is really powerful. Eustace Alberea, his stuff with his dad, with Machias, his stuff with Rufus, it's all very, very good. And he has to be an S tier for me. I love Eustace as a character. And it really blindsided me how much I love Eustace. Because when I started Cold Steel 1, I didn't expect to really like him at all. But Eustace really grew on me. Next up is Kevin Graham, who's going in Triple S. I love Kevin Graham. Kevin Graham is incredible. In fact, we're going to do this. This. I love Kevin Graham. He's only really around for 2 games. I guess he shows up a little bit in another, but like his personality, the way that he's carrying this trauma and doesn't know how to deal with it and is doing his best to keep his head above the water. I love Kevin Graham. I wish that we got to see Kevin more because I think that post-trauma Kevin is going to be so much more interesting as a character too. I love Kevin. Kevin and Rias are such great characters. I hope she's on this list. Surely she is. They wouldn't put Kevin and not put Rias, right? Ours. There she is. Okay. Next up is Kurt, and then Kurt. This is our Kurt from Sky. He's a very fun character. I like him. He doesn't really get to do a lot, but the moments that he does, he shines in those. I think he's very, very solid. I think Elisa's too low. I think maybe we do this. Because Elisa is still very good. Kurt Vander, however, is an S tier for me. I think I like him a little bit more than Emma. I really like Kurt Vander. I think that actually, he might be my favorite of the new Class 7. Well, no, because Altina. But we're going to put him above Ash. I love Kurt Vander. The stuff with him trying to be as good as his family, of trying to stand as strong as them, even though he used the 2-sword style instead of the great sword style. I think he's a very, very good character. His arc is really solid, and I love the way that he comes into his own to be able to defend his friends and protect his teacher. You know, he's a great character. Then we have Laura Arcade. Nope, I meant to put Laura right here. I romance Laura in every single one of the games. I absolutely love Laura as a character. However, I do think that she doesn't get to do as much as I'd like. There's this rivalry that's set up between her and Duvali that kind of doesn't ever really come to a head. It doesn't ever really finish. Instead, it moves from her versus Duvali to her versus Leanne Sandlot, and that gets some really good traction. That gets some really good stuff going on. But her main focus is around her dad during the later events of Cold Steel, and I feel like sorry, it's the asthma. I'm good. I feel like if we had a little bit more time to be able to spend with her and either Leanne Sandlot or Duvali, or maybe just one more climactic duel for her, I think it would have really sold her growth on me, because I loved her in Cold Steel 1, 2, and 3. It's just in that final round of 4, it feels like she doesn't really get her stuff. And I did every romance event for her, and it really just focused on her relationship with Reen, which is not bad. She's still my favorite girl in romance. It just, I think that characters like Fee or Eustace get to do a little bit more in that final game. But she's still a very, very solid character, and I like her a lot. Lecter Arundel. Yeah, Lecter Arundel has to go in S. I really like Lecter. I think that it's clear from the beginning that Lecter is hiding a lot of things, but he's not a bad person. And you can really see the moment where he realizes he's picked the wrong team and his hands are tied. And I really, really like Lecter Arundel for that. I think he's a great character. Luve! Leonhart the Blade Lord. I mean, honestly, guy only shows up for a couple games, but he leaves a lasting impression on the entire world and on me. His battle theme is really, really good. Silver Will. But also, like, he changes everybody that interacts with him, you know? McBurn, Duvally, Aryan Road, Agate, Joshua, Estelle, Ren. The man just, he had an effect on people. And I really like him as a character. He's a bad guy, but he's not, you know? He's just doing what he feels like he has to. And I think that I'm really looking forward to replaying the Sky Trilogy because of him, really. Like, I don't need to replay it to know that Estelle is the best protagonist in the series, in my opinion. But I do want to replay it to get to see more of Luve. We're going to move Luve up. Luve's very, very good. Leo is good. I like Leo. We're going to put him at top of B. I just wish that he got to do a little bit more. No, we're going to put him at bottom of A. The stuff with him messing with Reen about Fee being their girl is pretty good. Zeno does that too. We'll get to him in a little bit. And then Lloyd Bannings. I think I like Lloyd actually more than these two. I really like Lloyd. The break my legs if you have to, I'll still keep coming back is a really good line. And Lloyd is just a very, very solid character. I really like Lloyd Bannings. His desire to climb over the barriers in his way, to be able to protect his hometown, to be able to protect the legacy of his brother is really, really good. Lloyd Bannings is a top-tier character. Next up is Machias Regnitz, who I think also has to go up to S tier. I think the main thing for Machias is that he does almost a complete 180 over the course of his character arc, which I think is really, really good. I love it when that happens. When you see someone that absolutely detests a group, that by the end of their character arc has now started defending that group, it just, ugh. Machias' character arc is so good. I think what helps that is the how, right? The why. It's not that he's just a jerk. It's that he has actual legitimate reasons for the way that he feels, and he still tries to move past it. There's so much to love about Machias between his character, his style, the gun, his chess playing, and the way that ties into some of his S-crafts. Machias is just a lot of fun to have on the crew, you know? Really glad to have him around. Maribel Croyce. I think Belle's okay. I think we'll put her under Lumen. I think she's all right. You know, I don't love her. I don't think that she is one of the greatest villains in the series, but she's a fun villain. I'd like to see more of her, maybe. I think that Weissman is there for a much shorter amount of time on screen, right? But he sells himself as a villain far more than Maribel does. I think it's supposed to be like the twist on her, right? Which I guess I've spoiled if you didn't play those games. But I don't know. She just doesn't super work for me like some of the others do. Like McBurn does. I don't adore McBurn, but I do think McBurn is very, very solid. I think that what McBurn really shines in is the other. The question of what is he really? You know? We don't fully understand that yet. And maybe Reverie and Kuro give more information on that. Again, please don't tell me. I want to find that out on my own. But I think that McBurn is a really interesting character, and I'd like to see more of what's going on with him for sure. He brought a lot of fun to the entire game, or the entire series. So, Millium Orion, triple S tier for sure. Millium is a great character. We'll put her right behind, maybe above Altina. Millium just like skyrockets for me over the course of these games. Cold Steel 1, she's all right. By Cold Steel 4, she's one of my favorite characters in the entire series. And I think it all comes down to I just wanted to be able to help you. It's like, you did, Milliam. You did. You did so good, Milliam. I'm so proud of you. She's an incredible character, and I love her. Milliam Orion. Mueller Vander. Very, very solid character. We're going to put him in S, maybe. I don't know. He's really good. We might put him just above Julia Schwartz. That way they're together like they wish they could be. Muse Egret. I like Muse. I think we're going to put Muse below Ellie but above Elliot. Because I do think Muse's got a lot going on. I don't love the flirt with teacher character type. Like, that's not my favorite character type by far. But I do think that Muse is a very interesting character with a lot going on. And I do really like her. So, yeah, I think that's a good spot for her. Olivier Lindheim. Now comes the fight. Who's number one on this list? We can decide that later. Because Randy Orlando is also going up here. And one of these 5 is going to be in the top spot. We'll decide that at the end. But one of them for sure will be right here. And it's probably going to be one of these 3. I love Olivier Lindheim. Incredible character. Just as soon as you hear that music kick in, you know everything is going to be great. Everything is going to be fun. Everything's going to be wonderful. And then Randy Orlando. Randy Orlandi, man, just incredible character. Is there for his friends, is carrying this terrible weight and doesn't want to let himself forgive himself. And I just love him as a character. Just absolutely one of the best characters in the series. Let's talk about Rain. I do love, too, that because I know these characters, even if I only see the top of their head, I know who they are. Let's talk about Reed Schwarzer. I like Reed a lot. I think that if this was just CS3 Reed, he would probably go towards the bottom of S. Because I do think that he's a really solid character. But it's CS4 Reed that I think needs to go up here. I know I said that I wasn't going to be putting a lot of people in triple S tier. And I'm not. I'm not going to be putting a lot of people up there. But I think CS4 Reed deserves the spot up there. Because of his interactions with a couple different characters. Or put him right here, I think. And specifically because of the moment where he's like, do you think I'd just let you die? You think I'm just going to stand here and watch this happen again? Because CS1 and 2 Reed absolutely would have just stood there and watched it happen. And CS4 Reed is the one that's willing to take that step and say, no, it's okay. No, it's not okay. I'm not going to do this again. And I think that earns him that spot in triple S tier for sure. Next up is Rin. Triple S tier. In fact, Rin's probably going to go right about here. Rin is one of the best written characters in this entire series. When you get into specifically her star door in Sky the Third, it absolutely broke me, and just thinking about it now hurts me deep in my soul. Yeah, Rin, there's no way she's not in triple S tier. There's no way she's not towards the top. If not for these 5, she would be number 1. Rin is an incredible character, and I love her. Then we have Rias. Rias is very good. I like Rias a lot. I don't like her as much as I like Kevin, but I do really like her. She's a really fun character. I think we're going to put her about here. Maybe right after Ash. Risha Mao, I think, is also a really great character. Put her right after Arios McLean. Her stuff with Ilya Platier and her stuff with the Sanguine Ogre Shirley are really good. Bloody Shirley. She's not the Sanguine Ogre. You know what I mean. Really, really good. I like her. Roselia, Crimson Roselia, I think is very good. Put her in top of A. Very, very fun character. Then we have Rufus Alberea, who you may not have seen that coming. I love Rufus Alberea. I think his scene in Cold Steel 4, where he declares that he will decide his own destiny, is one of the best scenes in the entire franchise. Rufus Alberea is an incredible character, and he has to be in Triple S tier in my mind. I love Rufus as a character. Rutger Klassel is also really solid. I think we're probably going to put him in A as well, maybe behind Elliot. Actually, maybe behind these two, but he's very, very good. I like him. Sarah Valentine, that's an S tier character right there. We'll put her right above, right above Alan Richard. I really like, actually, I like her more than Aurelia Le Guin and Rishia Mao. Yeah, we'll put her right here. I really like Sarah as a character. I think she's very, very good. I think her stuff with the Northern Jaegers is great. Her stuff with her dad is really good. Her stuff with Sharon Kruger's really good. I really like Sarah Valentine. Sherazard Harvey. Shara's great. We're going to put Shara right here. I really like Shara. I wish that she got to do more in the later games, but I think that Shara absolutely is an incredible character. Really, really, really love her relationship with Olivier. And, yeah. Shara's top tier. She's just not the top tier. No. Shara's great. I love Shara. Sharon, I think, is really good. I think we're going to put her at bottom of S tier. Actually, I don't want to put Sharon below Ellie, because I do like Ellie more than I like Sharon. But I like Sharon more than I like Muse. I think we're going to put Sharon right there. I think Sharon's very good. I love her stuff with Arena and her stuff with Elisa and her stuff with all the Reinfords, basically, and her stuff with Reen. She's a really interesting character. Shirley, I think, is a fun character. I think that she could probably go about here, right by Cedric. That makes sense. She's pretty great. I just don't think she's quite as good as some of the others, but she's a lot of fun to have on the cast, and her Testarossa is really cool. She allows a lot of really good things to happen. I like the Ogre. I do. I just don't like him as much as I like some of the other characters. I think he does his job, much like Leo and Sino, right? But he just doesn't have a lot of extra going on like I hoped he would. I might like him more because of his relationship with Randy as his uncle, but he's pretty good. Sigmund. Then we have Thomas Lysander, the Partitioner. And I feel like Thomas Lysander, a lot of people probably put him down like here, going like, who even is this guy? Like, no, Thomas Lysander is a triple S tier character. Thomas Lysander plays the fool and then literally is there for the team over and over and over. They would not have won without Thomas Lysander. And everybody treats him like a faded memory. Everybody treats him like he's unimportant. Everybody treats him like he's not the most important person in this universe. But Thomas Lysander makes the difference over and over again. And I love him for it. He doesn't ask for fame. He doesn't ask for any great big thing. He just shows up, does his job, and leaves. And I love him. Thomas Lysander is great. Tio Plato, also great. S tier. Gonna put her right about here. Love Tio Plato. Really wish she didn't have to suffer the way that she did. She's a great character. Also, Tita Russell, right up there with her. Love Tita. Tita's incredible. Tita's great. I wish that Tita wasn't in love with Agate, but that's okay, I guess. I just really like Tita, and I miss her hat. I really wish she had her hat. This is Toval Randonneur. I really like Toval as well. We're going to put him about here. There we go. I love his interactions with Ein. I love his interactions with Breen. I love his interactions with Sarah. I love that he is the character that we get in Sister Cornelia. Toby. There's so much to love about Toval. I just wish he got to be around more. The Zero Artisan. He's so cool. Toa is also great. I don't love her as much as I know other people do, but I do think she's a really fun character that I'm really glad is around, and certainly an S tier character for me. I really like Toa. Victor Arcade, I think, is also a very fun character. I think we're going to put him under Elisa, but I think that the moments where he shines are really good, but much like some of these other characters, he doesn't get a lot of time to shine. It's more just like, well, he's around, and then when he's doing things, it's good. It's really great. We just don't get to see a lot of it. It cuts away from a lot of his action, which is unfortunate. Vita Clotilde, really, really great character. Like her a whole lot. The Abyss, as it were. She's great. This next one is, in fact, Wazy Hemisphere. Man, Wazy's great. Wazy's so much fun. I think we're going to put Wazy, like, right here. Wazy's a really fun character to have around, and the reveals you get with him, top tier. Then we have Xeno to go with Leo. There. Zen Vathic. I really like Zen, and I know that he kind of gets forgotten by a lot of the series after the Sky Trilogy, but I really like Zen. And his stuff with Alan Richard is really good. In fact, I think we're going to do this. So they're side by side because they kind of do become friends over the course of third, which is really cool. Dudley also, I think, can go in S tier. We're going to put him towards the bottom of S tier. Dudley's just a really solid character that I like a lot. Noelle, I said earlier that I like Ellie more than Noelle. I do really like Noelle. The stuff with her and Azure is great, but I do think I'm going to put her behind Ellie. Though now that I'm looking at this ranking, I think we're going to do this. Bring these up to the top, and then I think even then we might do this. And call that good right there, because I do still really like Ellie. I like every other member of the SSS more. Kilika Roran, recognized by the top of the head. These characters are also recognizable. I like Kilika. I do think that Kilika kind of suffers from the analyst problem of like, yeah, you know they're there, but they don't really get to do much. And so they kind of fade back. The moments where Kilika, like when you compare Kilika to Lecter, right? Kilika is around, Kilika is doing things, but Lecter is doing things, you know? And I feel like maybe that'll change in Kuro, since that's going to be in Calvard, and we might get to see more of Kilika doing cool stuff. But it just feels like Kilika kind of fades into the background in a lot of ways. Much like S that we barely hear from, I don't think she's bad by any stretch of the imagination. Scarlet, it's just, you don't really get to hear anything else about what's going on with her. Maybe when we get to Remeferia, things will be different. But this is Nightheart. I think Nightheart is fun. He's good. I don't know that he stands head and shoulders above all the rest of these, you know? But his stuff with Fiona is really good, and his stuff with Olaf Craig is really good. This is Gilbert, and as much as I want to be able to hate Gilbert, man, I just can't. I can't put him lower than that. I think we're going to put him at top of B, but that's as low as he gets. I can't put him any lower than that. This is Georg Weissman. And that may be a controversial choice, but I think Georg Weissman is a really fun villain. I know that he's only there for a little bit, but he just shows up and is like, hey, how are your memories? And I love him. I think he's a really fun villain. Kia's great. Kia's incredible. I love Kia so much. Celine is also really solid. I want to put Celine above Noelle, I think, in the interest that Celine is like a really good character, not specifically as a fighter, but I do like Celine a lot. Her growth with Reen is really nice to see. I can't remember this bracer's name, but I can remember them being around, and I like them. I just wish that they got a little bit more character to them. You fight them in Crossbell. They're crossbellian bracers. Alfred, is that her name? Alfred? Either way, she's fun. Karna as well. I think that solid character, but you don't really get to. Maybe we should do. Actually, yeah, we should probably do this, shouldn't we? Let's move everybody from. Kind of want to move everybody from Mariabelle down to B tier, because it's not that I don't. We'll leave Campanella up here. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I don't know that they stand with everybody else on this list. You know. I think we will move Kurt back up. Karna, we can move up. This is Duke Cayenne. He can go in C tier. I don't necessarily love him. I can't remember these. Rocco, Rice, and Derek, I think. Deke, maybe, but those three can also go in B tier. We'll put them above the Stout and the Sharp. This is the Bear. Gustav? Great character, though. Absolutely love him. This is Grant. No, yeah, this is Grant. This is Rice. So we'll put Grant with Karna. This is the headmaster. Too much we don't know yet, but for now, go in the bottom of S tier. No, towards the top of A. Luciola, the Bewitching Belle. Go in A. I like Luciola. This is the other one that's paired with this one. Can't remember her name. This is Josette's brother. Can't remember his name. Kyle? It's Kyle. This is G. Gideon? I actually really like G. I think that his stuff is really well done. We're going to put him above Victor Arcade. This is V. I think that his stuff is really well done, too. I think that what makes S kind of a bummer for me is that her stuff, she doesn't have what happened to her happen. Like, what happens to them doesn't happen to her, and then she doesn't show up again until, like, right at the end, basically. And it's like, man, these two had such a good exit, and then she doesn't get to do more, you know? Michael Irving. Straight to S tier. I love Michael Irving. Michael Irving is a slave to his duty, but he doesn't let it hold him back. And I think that, honestly, I kind of want to put Michael Irving, like, right. I love Michael Irving. Walter the Lionheart. Walter the Lionheart. Not Lionheart, the Dire Wolf. Where do I want to put the Dire Wolf? I don't like him as much as I like Luciola. I think we're going to put him right underneath. It's such an insult to him to put him underneath Gilbert. All right, he can go above Gilbert. He can go above Gilbert. Oh, I'm so sorry, Walter. No, he can go right here. I'm so sorry. This is Race. He can go here with Rocco. And those three can go together. They're pretty good. This is Sister Rosine. She's pretty great. We'll put her about here. This is the fourth of the Bracer team, right? Of this team? I think so. I can't remember his name. But I think he's the fourth member of that team. And this is Yun Kafai, who, again, we don't really get to know that much about, so we'll put him in A. All right, let's sort these in mid-category. Angelica can 100% stay there. She's the only character that I really like, super dislike. We'll move Scarlet above these. Behind Nightheart, maybe. If this is who I think it is, I really liked the four of them. I thought they were really fun, backing you up over the course of the game. I just didn't. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. It's Kurt, Karna, Grant, and this guy. Sting? Ridge? No, those are two other bracers that help you. Man, I need to replay Sky already. It's only been the better part of a year, and I've already forgotten some of the minor characters' names. Yeah, I think this tier's fine. I'm sure there'll be people that are upset that characters like Nightheart, Mariabelle, and Scarlet are this low. But again, remember, this list is just my opinion. This is where I personally would rank these characters. Obviously, if you have a different ranking, please let me know. And please let me know why. You know, don't just go, well, I hate it, your list is wrong. Go, well, personally for me, I would have put Scarlet in Triple S tier because I really like the reveal that she's working for the church now. You know, anything like that would be great. I think that maybe we can move G up because I do really like what happens with him. And then maybe we can move Aryan Road up as well. Maybe we move the Headmaster down because we just don't know that much about him. But I think this is pretty solid. Elise is so low. I feel like people are going to really hate me for Elisa being so low. Let's move her up to behind Aryan Road. In S tier, There's not really anybody that I want to move here. This is looking pretty great so far. I'm pretty happy with that. And then triple S tier. Yes, yes. Okay. Maybe move Kia to there. We got to decide on this top 5. We got to decide on this top 5. Okay. All right, here we go. The top spot either has to belong to Estelle or Olivert. That means we can figure out the next 3. I think we do this. So it's Randy, Crow, Kevin. Do 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 do. Do I give it to the bard that made me smile so much? Or do I give it to Estelle, best Estelle? I think I'm giving it to Olivert. I think that's going to make some people upset with me, but I think I'm going to give it to Olivert. Olivier is such a good character. Every time he shows up, just complete control over the scene. Except for when he's facing down Osborne, you know? So this is my list. Let me know what yours would be in the comment section down below. And until next time, I've been Trey. This has been The Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Trails has to offer.